I'm going to start with a big star in this one. So I've got my Posca pens. I'm missing my black. This is my bigger black. I thought that I had my smaller black here. Here we go. Okay. That's the main one that I'm going to use for this one here. I've got a little rock, so in between colors and stuff, I can prop it up and it's nice and straight for you guys. So welcome in, everybody. Hello, Anna. Hello, Bernadette. Thanks for stopping in and watching live. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. I do dangles often. They're so fun for me to do. There's no rules to them or anything like that. So you just kind of let your imagination go. So I'm going to start by drawing a large star here, and I don't care that I'm going to have the lines in the middle. I'll get rid of them later. I've yet to master drawing a star without using the classic, crisscrossing method here. I'm just using a very light touch with my pen. I always say the ink wants to go onto the rock. You don't have to press hard. If you press hard, you can possibly kind of hit a little lump and it might skip or splatter. So I've got my main star here, and I'm just going to block out some of my dangles to get started. So I know before I used to dangle down and make my shapes as I went down, but I'm finding that that's a little difficult for some people that are beginners to dangle. So my new method is even easier. So you just start by putting down vertical lines where you're going to have your dangles. Now this works really well if you have the pens because the colors will go over your black just fine. So you just hang them down anywhere you want. You can always add more dangles. You can't really take them off, so I always start with few and then you can add more. I'm going to have some coming off the ones way out here too. Maybe one little short one, one long one. Just like so. Maybe we'll just do one on that side just to keep it offset a little bit. And then if you want, I think I feel like the top, maybe I'll write a phrase over the top. I'm going to leave it plain for now. So once you've got a basic idea of how you want your dangles laid out, you're going to start adding your shapes to them. Now, if you're going to do dots, you don't have to draw circles. I'm just grabbing my bigger pen because it's faster to do larger dots. You just place and kind of wiggle the tip on there like so. The color is going to be able to easily cover up that black, so you don't have to worry about actually drawing a circle, just a black dot. And you can make them bigger, smaller, you can do little sets of them. I always like to have something at the bottom of each dangle. But I'm just going to go in and do some of the larger dots first with my big pen, and then we'll add some other shapes with the smaller one. Just be careful not to accidentally place your hand or your pinky down. I'm going to turn it around so I don't do that when your paint is still wet. Here we go. Like I said, there's no rules. You can always add more dots later. So just kind of place a few out where you want them. Like that. Now I'm going to go back with my fine tip and I'm going to add some other smaller dots in there. You can do them in little sets. You can add rectangles like that. Go. You could do little triangles. You can really use any shape you want. Didn't do any triangles on the other one, but we'll add a couple in here. And just like the dangle lines themselves, you can always add in more little jewels and dots to your dangles once you have color in there. If you feel like you need another pop of color on one specifically, you can always go back in and add more. I'm going to keep this one on the simple side just so you guys don't see me drawing dots for, 5 minutes straight. It might get a little bit boring. There we go. So So we're gonna leave it at that for right now. I might add some dots along the edge of the star once it's colored in, kind of like I did here on the inside part of this moon. I can do some of those along there once it's colored in, but I am gonna go ahead and get my first coat of the star down. I think I'm actually gonna do my star white. I'm gonna grab my bigger white here just to save a little bit of time and get started here. Coloring this in. Now this is a lighter colored rock, so white's gonna go down pretty easy. It might take a couple coats if you're on a darker rock or a darker base coated rock. So there we go, we got first coat there on that white. And now as far as filling in the dots, you just have to dot right on top of your shapes on your dangles. So I have some of my glitter pens. I love the shimmer that they give. I've also just got some of my basic colors, and white looks really cute in these dangles as well. Now the glitter pens aren't 1M. They do have the same style tip, but they're not quite as pointed. So you can't do really tiny dots with these. So I always go in and do some of the bigger ones first with those. And I'm gonna come up a little bit closer here. There we go. And you just very lightly dab on your dot. And if you dab multiple times, the dot will get a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. So if you need a smaller one, make sure I'm still in frame here, just one little quick dab will do it. If you need a bigger one, like this one here, you can kind of dab in the same spot and it will get just a little bit bigger for you. Like that. I'm gonna do I have a darker, came with 2 different colors of blue, and I'll get these ones going too. And when I'm coloring in, unless I have something very specific shape that needs to be a certain color on some of my themed dangles, I just kind of bounce around from chain to chain, just try to spread the colors out a bit. There we go. And now see, these ones have quite a bit pointier of a tip, so I can get really tiny little dots with these if I want to. So I mean something really small, you can get a nice little tiny dot in there, just like that. And then for the bigger one, again, you can kind of dab in the same spot and it will kind of grow just a little bit for you. I'm going to make sure I use my extra fine tip to do some of these different shapes. They're a little bit trickier, but the thing is you can go back in with your black afterwards and touch up your edges. So really you want to get that point further down. It's better to get the point further down and go a little bit over your edge because you can add that outline back to it than to not be far enough and you won't have that point when you touch up. My basic design there. Here, I'll bring it a little closer so you can see a little bit better. So like I said, excuse me, you could definitely add on more chains if you want to. I think I might add like, you know, like Make a Wish or Dream above this, possibly. I'm gonna have to think about it a little bit more. This is what happens when I hop on live to do it. I am gonna add another coat of white, and a couple of these spots look a little bit opaque, but not too bad. When I held it up there closer, I could kind of see. But once you're done, you're happy with your dangles and how everything looks, you can go back with your extra fine tip, or if you've got some really small details you want to fix, if you have these pens, they're awesome. You have to be gentle with them to make them last you longer, but you can get in and fix even the smallest side of a circle. Let's see if I can find one here. So see, like this guy here, this dot, see how it kind of went over the edge a little bit on this side? I can easily go in with this pen, and same with this triangle, and fix that. I can't talk at the same time I do it, so I'm gonna put it down, fix those two, and then I'll bring it close so you can see how well it does on that. There we go. So see how easily I can get in there and fix. These things have the tiniest little points. So you can get in and you can fix little things like that, or the edge of this star. So we can make sure that that's a nice crisp point. Like so. So see how simple you can get in there and really touch up and make it look nice and crisp. So there we go. So I'll probably play around with this one a little bit more, go in and kind of clean up a couple edges like the side of this rectangle. The longer you stare at it, the longer and more you'll see things that you want to fix. And I might add some words along the top. So thanks everybody again for stopping in. We'll see you all soon. Bye.